Warning: the following video presentation contains scenes of extreme deliciousness. Failure to either eat first or bring a snack to consume during the presentation could result in wanting to lick the screen or in some way act the fool. Ain't nobody want that. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, boys and ghouls. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? DK's making a snack today. Shove it right into your mouth. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? Is he making it for me? DK's making a snack today. It's time for tactical snacking with DK.
Hey folks, hey Avocado Green KitchenAid, how's it going? Hope everyone's doing alright today. It's been a busy weekend, busy week, etc. Yesterday was Mrs. Hueso's birthday, and so celebrated that, and it has, it's been kind of a busy time, but things are good. And hey, Happy Batty, how's it going? Long time no see. Hopefully school's going well for you. So yeah, just been a little busy. And oh yeah, new patch came in. Also got a secondary one specifically for the Instagram. So got those put on last night as I was watching YouTube videos. Let's see what else is going on. Honored guests are coming into town starting on Thursday, and as such, there will be no stream this Thursday, but throughout the weekend I'll be posting pictures and things like that of festivities and whatnot. So and it also looks like next Tuesday there also won't be a stream because people are still going to be in town, and hanging out with them takes priority. So we're going to be doing that, but we'll be back next Thursday, and we should also be back on Saturdays too. Haven't needed to, since things have been completed, the Saturdays are no longer needed, so we'll be able to do a Saturday stream, which should be good. So, also going to be, like I talked about it last time, we're going to kind of re-examine the streaming schedule a little bit, just to work a little bit better with Mrs. Hueso's schedule. She'll be a little bit late tonight, only because she's trying to make sure that she gets everything that she wants to done, so that she can have Tuesday off. So that's the plan. But yeah, that's where we're at. On the menu tonight, last night made up the second chuck roast that I purchased. Did that up in the Instant Pot. Came out excellent. Hey, Scott2572. Thanks so much for the resub, buddy. Came out great. We have leftovers. Because honored guests are coming into town, there will be many festivities with food. And so I need to make sure that I'm not sitting on a bunch of leftovers that are going to go bad. So the plan is to use these leftovers of the beef specifically to make the enchiladas. So the beef is already set and good to go. Who's coming to town? I haven't mentioned who's coming to town, but I will say honored guests that I can mention right off the bat is Lumpy Pickle and his girlfriend Lumpy Joe are coming into town. So this will be fun. And we should be going to the Hot Sauce Expo that's taking place in Portland this weekend. And there we should be able to have a chance to meet the Spice Lord himself, Mr. Vince Blasco from Bravado Spice, which will be very cool. And I'm told that a pair of Shreddy Boy guitarists from the Great White North are supposed to be in town. Yeah, Hot Sauce Expo, Happy Batty is over at OMSI, and it's this Saturday and Sunday from 10 to 6. General admission tickets are like $10. So that'll be a good time. But yeah. So good times will abound. And hey, Lumpy Pickle, was just talking about you, buddy. Since he's gonna be in town this weekend, so it'll be good times. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, so we're making the beef enchiladas using the leftover chuck roast that I made last night in the Instant Pot. But we're going to be making the enchilada sauce from scratch. And so actually, at the moment, I need to go get the water off of the stove because the first step in making this enchilada sauce is we got to get the chilies prepped and soaking. The recipe... There we go. It's the first link in that message. That's up on the Discord. It is a chili-based enchilada sauce that doesn't have any tomatoes or anything in it. So it's going to, have a really excellent flavor. But the chilies that I'm using are guajillo and ancho chilies that have a very, very mild warmth to them. This isn't going to be a spicy sauce. This isn't going to be something that's going to become super incendiary. My plan is to add a little bit of chipotle powder to it, just to give it a little bit of smokiness and add a little bit of additional warmth to it, but it should be pretty mild, so then it won't blow myself or Mrs. Waiso out of the water. So let me go grab the water for that real quick. I also got the oven on. Okay, so I got my boiling water here because when you're working with dried chilies, you really want to get them reconstituted in hot water because we're also going to be using some of that to make the sauce itself. Now these came straight from the market, and I'm not sure if it's really visible, but you can see there's kind of a fine powder on there. So it's going to sound a little crazy, but I'm going to actually go give these a quick rinse just to get this unknown dust off of it. And I think I have, 10 here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I got 10 pods here. I think I don't remember how many I spec'd in the recipe. I think I said like 8 or something like that. But a couple of these are a little bit on the smaller side, and I just assume, I can always add a couple more because, like I said, these particular chilies aren't, they're not spicy. There is just a good flavor and kind of warmth to them. And the other ones I have here are these dried anchos, which These are actually significantly cleaner, but I also purchased these from a totally different market. So I'm going to go give these a quick rinse and I'll be right back. Grabbed a couple of paper towels. A couple of extras decided to come along with it. There we go. So I'm looking to take the stems off and get as much of the seeds out as possible, because the seeds aren't edible and they tend to be on the bitter side of things. So if we can get rid of as much as possible, that is a good thing. Oh. Into the water. And if you end up not able to get all of the seeds, it's not a big deal. I just tend to prefer to get them as seedless as possible. In fact, this is why I'm wearing gloves. You can see kind of the red color already coming off. And there are those who would just, you know, de-stem them and then throw the whole thing into the water, seeds and all. And you certainly can. I just prefer it this way. I mean, I know it's a little bit of extra work, but I think people that have watched the stream before or know me in real life know that I don't really shy away from the additional work when it comes to food. Yep, quite flat. I don't remember what the name of the fresh chilies that become guajillos come from, because like, so the anchos here, well, this is one of the kind of the weird things when it comes to dried chili nomenclature, is that the name of the dried chili is going to be different than the name of the fresh chili. So like anchos, for instance, come from the pasilla pepper. Oh, see, now this is a good reason why I got extra. Got mold in there. That's no good. But yeah, anchos come from anchos are poblano peppers. Oh man, that one's got mold too. Makes me glad I picked up a few extra. The fact that there's mold in there just tells me that after drying, some moisture got in. jeez, this is looking... That's pretty cruddy, too. There we go. Refried. Now I get to move on to these anchovies. Molding your cheese, not your peppers. This is true. There are many applications where mold is absolutely beneficial, cheese being one of them, obviously. I know blue cheese isn't necessarily everybody's cup of tea, but I am a big fan. I only spec'd out, I think, 4 anchos in the recipe, but because we're a little short on the guajillos, I'll add in like a couple of extra anchos. Which ancho chili pepper, or chili powder, ends up making up kind of the bulk of most commercial chili powders. You buy them at the store. Seeds are going everywhere. Come on. Seeds hiding down in the very end there. Almost there. Oh man, everybody hear that, hey, Phase 6, what's going on? Yeah, just, working on the enchilada sauce. Step 1 being we gotta stem and de-seed the dried chilies and then get them soaking. So that's just, you know, a little bit of busy work that's gotta be done. But did everybody see that, I mean, for some people, it's not going to make any difference whatsoever. But it was just kind of like a really this kind of a bummer. But Olivia Newton-John died. That was shocking. Well, I don't know if it was necessarily shocking as opposed to just, you know, kind of sad. I mean, she'd been battling cancer for a really long time, but she had beaten it and it had been in remission, but I didn't see if they'd announced like an official kind of cause of death. Alright. Let's get this up. Okay. So that's in there soaking. It's already significantly more pliable than it was. So I'm going to go grab a timer and we're going to set it for 20 minutes. Flip that. No. So, okay. Task number 2. Into the salad this evening, I was going to put some toasted pepitas or whole pumpkin seeds. And so these are raw pumpkin seeds that I just picked up at the market this morning. And I'm not making a massive salad, but I just want to get a toast on these. So I've got my oven at 350 Fahrenheit right now. I'm going to let these go for about 5 minutes and then check them, shake them around, maybe set it for another 5 minutes or so, just to kind of get those toasting. 350 consequently is the temperature that I need to bake the enchiladas at, and it's the temp that I'm going to use to kind of reheat the beef initially before getting like enchilada sauce mixed into it, and then prior to assembly and everything else. So I'm finding seeds that I had missed. Like I said, they just got everywhere. All right, let's get this. All right, 5 minutes on the clock. Next, need to get the rice started. So roast them nuts. Exactly. We gotta roast these nuts. Okay. Next task, getting the rice going. Since that's gonna take, once it's actually on the stove, probably 25-30 minutes or so, which is pretty common. Again, if you hit the recipe, exclamation point recipe, it'll throw up the command with the links to the recipes that I'm using. This one is the Spanish rice, and I think it's like looking for a specific knife just because I was going to use it. And I realized, oh, I used it a little bit earlier and washed it. So I'm not making a ton of rice. Same with like the enchiladas. I'm not making a ton of them just because I don't want to be sitting on leftovers for the next week. So I'm only doing 1 cup of rice, and then a little bit of onion, a couple of cloves of garlic, and I don't know why, but these garlic cloves that I've picked up recently are just super janky. I totally chose poorly. Which is funny because when I looked at the containers at the restaurant supply place, I'm like, oh yeah, this one looks good. Clearly, I'm blind as a bat. So I'll do another one. I'm going to leave a couple of cloves of garlic for the enchilada sauce, so I might as well get those out now too. tomatoes don't need to have anything other than being crushed happen to them, because that's going into the Vitamix Craft enchilada sauce. So there we go. Alright. Onion time. Garlic. Onion and garlic, ready to go for that. Need a single bay leaf. Alright, so that's good to go. And let me flip over this. Oh. I'm gonna check the hook. Alright, they're just starting to turn. So I'm thinking about another 2 minutes. Okay. Let's see. Yep. Okay. All right. Just double checking my work. All right, so that's good to go. So now I need my basmati rice, which I need a cup of it. And then that's pretty good. Alright, so for the liquid component, we're going to use a can of El Pato tomato sauce, and then we're going to make up we're going to add hot water to make it 2 cups. And then something that I will do very commonly is, because this is a little less than a cup, it's pretty close, I'll usually toss in about a teaspoon of chicken bouillon. I just eyeballed it. Okay. Yeah, we're getting some brownness. But I'm thinking maybe another 2 minutes. So I want them to be nice and toasty so they have a good crunch to them. Okay, so I've got chicken bouillon that I added to it, and I'm just going to add hot water to bring it to the 2-cup mark, and then we'll be about ready to go for that. Alright, that is filled up, ready to go. 1 cup measure for rice. That. And last but not least, need this vegetation and the bacon. To the stove. Okay. So in the recipe I have listed using olive oil as opposed to extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to use some of the leftover olive oil that's been infused with the garlic that I made for Thursday's stream when we had the leftover lavenia with the garlic and herbs and everything. So I'm going to use this olive oil to saute up the onion and everything. Oh, timer. Yeah, that's looking a lot better. Okay. Preheat our pan. A couple of tablespoons of the oil. Hitting it with just a bit of salt. Okay. Now we can add our rice, which I'm using basmati rice. Yep. And I'm just stirring it to make sure that everything is nice and coated. Alright. Throw in our bay leaf. Quick stir to our mixture here. Okay. Once that comes up to a boil, we're going to turn it down to low, slap the lid on, and leave it. Meantime, I'll rinse this out. Because I'm going to need it to make the sauce. Down to low, leave it. Okay. All right, so rice is going. Chilies be soaking, and I realize that the timer is now blocked because I have this here, and we've got another 4 minutes on the clock. Now, there we go. Okay, next up, we got the sauce that we're gonna make, and then for that, the additional ingredients that we need. So I was going to add a little bit of this chipotle mako powder that I have, which is, we're used to seeing jalapenos in the store that are green, but if you let them fully ripen, they turn red. Well, chipotles are just jalapenos that have been smoked and then either dried or, canned with the resulting adobe sauce. Your normal chipotle powder that you find is going to be made from jalapenos that were smoked while they're green, whereas chipotle mako is made from jalapenos that have been allowed to fully ripen and then smoked. And so there's a definite difference in flavor. The riper jalapenos aren't anywhere near as vegetal as the green ones that most people are used to. So it's just got a nicer flavor. Okay. In the sauce, we're going to need, we already put the garlic in. Oh, a couple of the odd ingredients. I don't think I... Okay. That's alright. Means we get to get this. So this is my bucket of cocoa powder. It was available for a very excellent price, which is why I got it when I did. So in the enchilada sauce, you'll see that it's cocoa powder as well as a little bit of sugar. Most people, at least here in the States, will have better access to just straight up cocoa powder. But if you want to be honest, the cocoa powder and sugar is a substitute for the Mexican chocolate squares that some people are able to get, the abuelita cocoa squares, and those are usually a good sub is about equal parts unsweetened cocoa powder and sugar. So the cocoa and the sugar is just going to kind of help balance things out. this now has cocoa powder on it. Give it a wipe down before adding the sugar. A couple of teaspoons of sugar to go in there. Then, all right, that's 20. Since we're going to be adding a cup of water slash broth, I thought it was 1 teaspoon. Instead of just going with straight up water, I'm going to hit it with a little bit. Well, actually, why am I grabbed the chicken just kind of like out of habit, but since this is going into an enchilada sauce to be used for beef enchiladas, I'm going to use a teaspoon of the Knorr beef bouillon powder. And I'm not going to add any additional salt yet. Once it's all blended up, we'll give it a taste and see if it needs any additional salt. But this may mean that we don't necessarily need it. So that's ready to go. Let's grab, let's see, 1 cup. Yeah, 1 cup. Alright, there's our 1 cup to start. Now, we get to pull out all of these chilies. Oh yeah, these are nice and soft. And then we'll use 2 cups of this soaking liquid and then discard the rest. If we need to thin out the sauce anymore, we'll add some additional water and then probably hit it with some more bouillon powder. Now this water has gone quite dark. And yeah, we're using some of it in the sauce. The reason why we're not using it all is because, like I said, sometimes it has a tendency to go, it can be a little bit bitter, which is what we're trying to avoid. Let's see, chunks hanging out. Probably just threw it right back. Alright. So I'm going to go grab a strainer. This will work even better for our purposes. Heard a noise. Do I ever use better than bouillon? Could you use it in place of the powdered beef bouillon in this recipe? Same amount. Yes, you can use the better than bouillon, which I have in the fridge. I just grabbed the dried stuff since the dried Nor bouillon would be the most typically used in a Mexican household. Yeah, that would be the most normal thing. But yeah, you can absolutely use the better than bouillon. And then as for the amounts, just look on the package for how much you add to, you know, a cup or two of water, and then go with that. So I don't remember how much you add per cup off the top of my head. Okay. There's our 2 cups of chili liquid. And our Vitamix gets to make an appearance. Alright. So everything is in there. It's a bit hot, so I'm gonna actually use a couple of paper towels over the top just in case. And I'm going to start this off slow so then that way the sudden steam release doesn't blow the lid off, which has happened to me before many years ago, but safety, you know. Nice color. And I'm actually liking the consistency. I don't think I need to thin this out. Smells good. Yeah, I think it needs salt. I'm actually going to give it a pretty heavy pinch. I didn't add any of the chipotle. Completely forgot to. And after tasting it, I think I'm not gonna. The chilies have kind of a there's a warmth there to it that I'm happy with, especially in that tiny little taste. The concern that I would have about adding the chipotle and kind of ramping it up is that in consuming it in a larger quantity, that it would be too spicy. and I want to make this something that can be very easily enjoyed and used again, because I mean, I'm not going to need all of this, so I'm going to end up freezing whatever I don't need. So I'd like to be able to enjoy it and not completely blow out Mrs. Weiss or myself. So I'm going to go grab some salt. This is my seasoning salt. A couple of teaspoons is about what I added. So, okay. Run it again. Just realized I had muted everyone so they didn't have to listen to the Vitamix. That's much better. It's properly seasoned. It's good to go. I'm kind of thinking, well, I'm almost thinking a little additional sugar to kind of... Because there is... Remember how I talked about how the soaking water can have a tendency to add some bitterness to it? There is some bitterness in there, and I'm going to want to counteract it with a touch of additional sugar. So let's just get that mixed in real quick. We should be good. There we go. Once more with feeling. Yeah, I took the edge off. Awesome. Okay, so that's good to go. Put that over there. Get rid of this and this. Hang on to the saucier there. That'll be what I end up making the beans in. Alright, let's get rid of this. Those are cool to touch. Excellent. All right, pizza is ready to go. So that being the case, let's bust out the beef. get that. I want to get a little bit of heat on it, just so it's a little bit easier to work with. I did take the liberty to of chopping it up a little bit before I put it away last night, since I kind of figured it was going to end up, you know, being turned into enchiladas. So that should be sufficient for, well, maybe a little more. That should do. So I'm just going to hit it with a little bit of salt, since there really wasn't a heck of a lot on it. Because the resulting jus that went with it had plenty of seasoning, and so none needed to be added to the meat. But since we're not doing that, a little bit of additional seasoning here is going to be good. So I'm going to put this in the oven, and then we can start talking about assembly of the enchiladas. Need to get a few things prepped for that, and then we can really get going on them. Alright, I just put 10 minutes on that, and that should be plenty. Okay, so in addition to the meat and the enchilada sauce, need to shred some cheese. I'm going to use a combo of Jack and a mild cheddar. That'll be a nice addition to it. Add some to the inside. Then we're going to roll them up, and I'm going to do them in these flour tortillas. Pick these up at a local place. Happen to like this particular brand, and I'm going to make them actually, instead of in a giant, well, I shouldn't say giant because it's not giant. I'm going to make them in an 8x8. So there'll probably be enough for 4, maybe 5 in there, perhaps. But this should be plenty for Mrs. Weiss and myself this evening. Because I don't, like I said, I don't really want a ton of leftovers, given the fact that honored guests are coming this week. So 10 minutes on the clock for that. This is good to go. Let's get some cheese. Alright, so I've got some Jack here, and I've got some mild cheddar that I gotta crack open. Yes, I will. The way they were acting initially, I thought Mrs. Weisel might be home, but even though this is kind of her normal coming home time, she said that she was going to be later, so. Anyways, that's where we're at. Okay. So I'm going to do about a 50-50 mix on this. Let's see how much we got. Yeah, it's about right. So let's turn it around and Hit it with the cheddar. This block ain't anything special, it's just mass market mild cheddar, but I didn't want anything terribly special just because in making enchiladas, it's there for, kind of the ooey gooey factor, add a little bit of flavor, but not be super overpowering. Since doggos are here. Oh, hi, Jean. Where's the little girl? Huh? What? Vera? Hey. Weirdo. Alright. Smell the beef. Alright, so cheese is shredded, ready to go. I will probably, I can pretty confidently say I'm not going to use all of this cheese for this. I mean, I'm going to put some on the inside of the enchiladas and then top it with some of the cheese before baking it. And then it'll be in the oven for about 20 minutes or so, I figure. But, yeah, we don't necessarily need all of it. However, having a little bit left over is not necessarily a bad thing because I'm not going to be using all of these. And I might feel like a quesadilla later, so thinking ahead. Hey, Accidental Chaos, what's going on? Ah, no worries, lurk away. Alright, so that's good, that's good, that's good. And that's done. So now okay, so I figure for the assembly of these, yeah, I wanted a plate that's going to be big enough to accommodate the tortillas, give me enough space to kind of fill them and roll them, because the plan is to have some sauce on the plate so the outside of the tortilla gets some sauce on it. We're going to add a bit of sauce to the top side, add some beef, add some cheese, give it a roll, get it into the pan, rinse and repeat, as it were. But first, I think I'm going to add a little bit of oil to the pan, just to kind of hopefully help it not stick too badly. Just a little bit. Japanese plate. Yeah, I know, right? That's the thing, Lumpy. Most of my, actually, I think it's pretty fair to say just about all of my plates are somewhat Japanese in origin. Grease that up a little bit. A little bit of sauce. There we go. Just wanted a nice little layer. Got that. We're going to make a bit of a mess, but that's how it goes when you cook. Move that out of the way. Meat will probably end up sitting here at the end. Actually, shift it to right there. That to there. We got our sauce handy. Got our pack of tortillas. These are nice and soft already, so I don't need to worry about kind of heating them up a little bit to make them more pliable. That's the one issue about using like corn tortillas for this kind of thing, is that you gotta get them kind of preheated a little bit so they become pliable, because if you try to roll them, they just end up snapping. Yeah, a plate's a plate, but it's all good. 1, 2, 3. So there's 5, and if I need more, then I'll get out more. I'll have my gloves handy. And then once we get... Oh, there's the meat. Hello, puppy. All right. Meat, ready to go. And it's nice and tender. I initially thought about saucing up the meat all together, but I'm opting not to, because I might end up making tacos with some of these later. I don't know. So I'm going to keep the sauce off of them, at least for the time being. But, okay. Gloves. Let's start assembly. Because then once this goes into the oven, we'll start working on the salad. And then the last thing that we'll do is make the beans. Since the beans come together super quick. Y'all have seen me make the beans before, but you gotta have rice and beans when it goes along with this stuff. I mean, I got the good chips. You know, you have to have it. You just do. So, all right, let's get some sauce on the plate. I am very much playing with my food. I encourage everybody to play with their food. Alright, nice layer. Cool. A little bit of cheese from right up the middle so we get a nice mix. Might be a little much for one of these, but oh well. There we go. Tuck, tuck, roll. And in the... Yeah, that fit really nicely. It's almost like I planned it. Okay. Tin number 2. Okay. Cheese. I'm just kind of poking everything up and underneath, and then I'm sticking my fingers in the ends to kind of help stuff from rolling out. That worked out even better. Nope. At this point, I'm just grabbing it. It's cool enough to where I can do this. Excellent. Okay. The ends. Okay. Well, it looks like we might need a little bit more sauce. Just a touch. I'm already going to have to run this thing through the dishwasher. Finger painting on tortillas. Yep. This one's going to be mostly dry. Just a touch. That's good. And it's going to be a little pressed, but we'll do a fifth. Mostly because I'm pretty sure Mrs. Weiss will actually Mrs. Weiss will probably end up having one, maybe 1.5. And then I will more than likely end up polishing off the rest of them. Because let's just be honest. There we go. Diesel. Alright, so I'm going to want to get a little bit of additional sauce. On the top here. Just a little bit. Don't necessarily need a ton, but just wanted to get a little bit of additional on there. Gotta have cheese on enchiladas. It's like a must. Nice. Alright, so there isn't that much left. Cool. Here's our pre-oven can of enchiladas ready to go. And so I'm gonna go take these over and oh, thanks, Happy Batty. I'm gonna go actually let these hang out on the stove for a little bit, just until I kind of get some stuff cleaned up here, and then we'll put them in and then start on the salad. Just moving the rice to a different burner. So then that way I can use that one to be ready to go. Alright, so let's get this cleaned up a little bit. Cheese over there. Just want to make sure that stuff is rinsed. So in that way, later when dishes are done, it's not going to suck. Alright. Do not need those. Oh no, I do need the garlic. We'll need a couple of cloves for the beans. Let's see. These. Them. We got a nice ripe avocado here. I'll end up having some in the salad, some to garnish. The dressing for the salad is going to end up being olive oil, lime juice, salt and pepper. Pretty basic. Maybe a touch of sugar, depending. But yeah, it'll be, you know, a really simple salad to go along with it, but it should be super tasty. In the meantime, get the cloves prepped for the beans, so then that way when it comes time to do that, this is all ready to go. Because we are going to need lime juice to go along with the beans. that's good. That will be sufficient for that. Alright, so that should cover us for the salad, as well as seasoning the beans, and if we need it, well, actually, I'll probably end up doing a squeeze into the rice. That's I always end up hitting the rice with a bit of lime juice. It habit, and also I like the way it tastes. So, all right. So in the salad, besides the avocado, tomatoes, we're gonna do some lettuce, thinly sliced red onion, and the pepitas. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah, real simple. Red onion. Oh. You know, I was forgetting something. Cilantro. Not all this is going to go into the salad. I think I'm going to use some of the red onion to garnish the enchiladas at the very end. So I'll hang on to some of that. Same with the cilantro. We got a bit of the stem there. I'll have to take that out. Red onion. Done. Yeah. I just got some red leaf lettuce. So I'll go. And we'll pull off a few of these and go give them a wash. This one's got some interesting growth on it. That should be plenty for what I need. Since I'm standing here, 20 minutes on the clock for the enchiladas. Now I'm just kind of lining up leaves. I'm just gonna take off the end a little bit right here. And straight up the middle. If you want to hand tear it, go right ahead. I'm a fan of doing the chop personally. Handful of tomatoes. Nope. Debating about whether or not to put cucumber in it. Might be nice. Helps that I have half of one in the fridge. Okay. Tomatoes are go. Yeah, let's do some cucumber. One mandolin! Yeah, exactly. I have 2 mandolins. No, I don't have 3. I have 2 though. That actually reminds me, Lumpy, I need to get some mandarins. Yep. Okay. Beauty. And is Alright. Alright. Let's do some avocado. So half of this I'll put into the salad, and the other half I'll use as like garnish for the enchiladas. Hit that with some lime to hopefully help keep it from browning. Okay. Minutes. Salt, pepper. Bit of salt. Pepper. And some of my totally Greek olive oil. Okay, let's get this first. This is actually way stronger than I thought it would be. But I don't want to hit it with any more olive oil because it's adding a bitterness to it. So I think a little bit of grapeseed oil. And it's not uncommon in vinaigrette to add a touch of sugar, so I'm just going to add just a little bit. Just tasted like it was missing a little something. But it could also be just because I was tasting the lettuce as opposed to everything together. And the red leaf can be a touch on the bitter side too. But, okay. So this we can slice. That is ready to go. Onions are done. That's done. Garlic is set. Drink. Now that sounds like Mrs. Waisel. My guess is she's in the driveway. pretty good. You?
Great.
You got everything done?
Almost. I'll get it all done tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
How is everyone? Hi, Pickle.
Pickle's here. Happy Batty's here.
Happy Patty.
Yeah, Accidental
We
Chaos
need to
is
invite
here.
Happy Patty over.
Scott 2572 is here. Accidental Chaos.
Wow, all the good people are here.
And a few more are lurking.
And the good lurkers.
And that's okay. We love the lurkers too.
Yep.
Lurk away. Feel free to just hang out. It's all good. We appreciate you being here. Because sometimes you just want to hang out and just watch stuff and not do anything. How's school going, Happy Batty?
Ooh. What are you in school for?
Network security. Hey, Ivy Stupid's here. What's going on?
I miss school. I graduated. I went back to school and I started taking care of my mom. And graduated in 2020. All that work and no graduation.
You would be interested in this.
What's the Jimmy Dean 249?
Supermarket?
Farmer's Market?
No. The big chain. Fred Meyer.
Oh, cool.
So, that's going on sale tomorrow. Jimmy Dean sausage chubs are going on sale tomorrow at Fred Meyer for $2.49 each, which is very low. So, she's a big fan of the Sage, and
I love Sage.
it's the last 2 weeks of the term, so it's kind of crunch time. Oh,
Yeah.
I feel ya. Sushi,
Ooh,
nice.
yes.
We had sushi for the first time in a long while. What was that, Saturday? Yeah,
That
it was
the first
Saturday.
time in ages.
Ages. But
No,
we
it was Friday night.
was it? No,
Yeah, 'cause I worked that day. You texted me when I was at work if I'd be interested in sushi.
That's right. Because yeah, so we went to a
That was
local
the
place.
first time we went back to that place since before COVID.
That's true. No, that's not true. We went once, kind of in the beginning when they were doing to go only.
But we didn't buy.
Yeah, we didn't get anything, but
Ooh, come on.
yeah. So it had been a minute, but it's a conveyor belt type place, and so it was pretty cheap for the two of us. So, yeah. Okay, let's make some beans. Alright. Got my garlic. Got my wood, my half of lime, cumin, chili powder, and Keno beans. Alright. So thankfully these cheater beans go real quick because I got 5 minutes on the clock for the enchiladas. Probably turn the heat off on the rice now. For this, I'm actually using a bit of bacon fat. Yep. There we go. Garlic in. There it is. Need my masher. So I'm just trying to soften up the garlic. Not really looking to brown it or anything like that. Okay. So the beans in the liquid are going in. I'm going to get a little bit of water in this. Stir, hit them with a pinch of salt. I think I said like a half teaspoon of cumin. And a little bit of chili powder. There we go. Let that go. And then once it's ready to go, we're going to let the beans heat through a little bit. And then we're going to take the masher to them. There it is. .216 on the clock. Give it a stir. Beans, done. All it is to it, to beans. They're literally that simple. And then we're just gonna let them hang out there because as they sit with because we use the bean juice that's in the can there, it's got all that thickening kind of power to it, and so they'll actually thicken up a little bit more from where they're at, and they're great. Let's see. Oh. Let's...
Great.
Got bubbling enchiladas.
Yay!
Whole lot of enchiladas. There. Everything is off.
Ooh, and rice? What?
And beans.
I love crumbled rice.
Ooh.
This is the most.
Rice is done. Beans are done. Enchiladas are ready to go.
It's ready to go.
It is ready to
On
go.
the rooftop, shout it out. I almost ate this avocado for breakfast. I'm glad I didn't. Because I was
glad-
like, it would be better for dinner.
You are correct. Okay, so
Oh, there's avocado in the salad, too.
yes. So then we can also
Is
bust.
this pistachio nuts?
No, those are papitas.
Papitas. What's a papita?
Pumpkin seed.
What?
Yeah.
Pumpkin seed? Is it a special pumpkin?
No.
Mm. That's good.
That's good.
That's good.
Oh, that would actually be a good clip.
Yeah, that's a good idea. That's good. How long until you're done with school, Happy Betty?
Whole lot of enchiladas. Okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed school. I went back to it as an older person. I hated it when I was younger. I was there more for the social aspect.
Alright, so we got that. A little bit of leftover cheese.
Some sour cream.
Yep. Normally I would say, oh, wait. Normally I would say use crema, but I didn't have crema. I've got the sour cream, so that's what we're going to use here.
That's awesome.
So yeah,
Congrats.
maybe a year before I'm done if I stay on track.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I graduated in 2020. Very sad. It was great. I'm glad I graduated, but like all that work and I didn't get to walk. I'm a little bitter about it. And the school's like, oh, I could go walk now, but it's been 2 years. Why? A little part of me is like, go back to school, get another degree, just for the fact that I could walk.
Plate for you.
Thanks.
Knife for you.
Ooh,
Fork for you.
fork for me.
Fork
You go
for you.
first.
I need to get spoons for the rice and beans.
Spoon. That's what my brother used to say as a kid. He'd always, spoon.
Alright, so let's see. Oh, very good. Oh, that's just a little. That's check out them enchiladas. All right, let's get these suckers garnished. Okay. So first things first. It was consumed. Mm-hmm. Alright, so we've got sour cream.
Don't leave food out on the table and leave the house.
Onions. Need another cream.
Hey, Accidental Chaos. I came home at the right time. Dinner's ready.
Yeah, you did.
Actually, today was really good. I did well.
Good.
I only have one thing left, and then I can make the financial statements.
Hooray.
That's very hooray. My boss is like, I'm not going to tell everybody you got them done this early. I don't want people to think this would be a regular thing. I'm all, now that I have help, it can be a regular thing.
Yeah. Yeah, but you know what? It's like Scotty said in that that episode of Star Trek Next Generation when they found him in the transporter loop, and he was talking to Geordi, and they're like, how long is it going to take for this to be done? He's like, oh, it's about an hour. And he's like, oh, laddie, never tell him the exact time. Always tell him it's going to take longer, and then that way you seem like the hero when you get it done.
Yeah.
That way, that's the thing, is you don't want to let them, know that you're as good as you are, because then that way they're going to start expecting it all the time. And then you're going to have no buffer.
True. I'm happy to have the financial statements done by the 11th every day, though.
Oh, yeah, no, totally.
That'd be awesome.
Rise.
Fair. Runny beans.
I did add a little bit of water to them. I probably could have cooked them a touch longer, but I actually kind of like them on the somewhat runnier side anyways. Personally.
Okay. Gotta be patient.
I will, as soon as I'm done. But you gotta get some cheese on the beans.
Yes. Cheese on the beans.
Cheese on the beans. Lime on all the things.
Money shot.
Money shot.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Booyah.
Yeah, happy Daddy, you gotta come over sometime.
And because I had to.
Shit.
Because you need the chips.
Chips make it.
You gots to have the chips. Cheese for your beans?
Yeah, I need beans first.
Then, please,
I need some beans.
dish yourself up. I ain't your maid.
I ain't your maid. I like when you make beans because they're not all oily and stuff. They're good for you.
There's
Good
only,
for you, beans.
I mean, there's a little bit of bacon fat in there, but not very much.
Hey, fat is not a bad thing. Our brains need fat to work, so.
It's true. Yeah, I want to say in this whole thing, there's maybe a teaspoon.
It's when you only eat fat that's a problem.
Yes.
Or too much. Do you need your gloves? I'm just gonna put them away.
No, I do not. You can put them away.
Sorry about that. This season all day today.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Salad for you.
Something's in the air.
Something's in the air.
Salad for me?
Salad for you. Okay.
Taste the rice.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Oh, good. I'm never sure with your vocal noises that you
Now
make.
you know how I feel when we first got married.
Okay.
Your grunts, I couldn't figure them out.
Okay, you have to understand, Mrs. Hueso has a tendency to make a fair amount of noises.
I
when
learned it
things
from
happen.
you.
Well, no, hang on. Hold up. What I'm talking about is if anything happens so it's I never know if it's bad because I
The
used
noises to you sound the same.
they all sound the same. They all sound like I'm dying, help me. And I would always check on her and she'd be like, oh, not that big of a deal. And so I've stopped reacting to them, but I'm always like on the edge of my seat going,
check.
I do check, but I usually give it a beat, and then I'm like, is everything okay? In the event that something's not, but it normally is. So, okay. We're gonna go to a quick break, super quick, just to kind of clear some of this away, and then we'll be back to kind of eat and taste and everything. So we'll see you in just, a few seconds. And we're back. And since the music is all one source, it is seamless through the whole thing. I also turned it down a little bit, so it shouldn't be terribly loud. After the last stream, I realized that the music that I had added in was a mixture of kind of the normal chill synthwave kind of stuff that I've been doing, but it also had a fair amount of dark wave as well as some cyberpunk industrial stuff, which didn't really necessarily want for the background. So I culled the playlist and we should be good to go here. Cool. But now it's time to taste the rainbow.
Good. I'm kind of surprised the enchilada is not spicier. Did you say?
What did I tell y'all? What did I tell y'all?
You know me.
I told y'all.
And I'm pretty consistent.
Because I was going to add a bit of chipotle, but I forgot to add it to the Vitamix when I was making the sauce.
Mm-hmm.
But after I tasted it, and I tasted there was some background heat to it, I opted not to add it.
It's good.
Because I didn't want to make it too spicy.
But the rice is pretty spicy today, so it's a nice combo.
So
this rice is spicier than you usually make.
Whole lot of enchiladas. Mmm. Mmm. Oh wow, that's really good.
Expected nothing less.
Boom.
Can I have the chips, please?
There.
I didn't want to reach over and be all rude.
That's never stopped you before.
Being rude.
No. Just you wanting chips, and it's just us.
And the world is watching.
Well, certain corners of the world are watching, but it's all good.
11 people are watching.
Yeah, but I seriously doubt that any of them would care if you reached across me to get them.
Those of you watching, would you care?
Mm. Those enchiladas came out great.
Mm-hmm.
When I was tasting the sauce initially, I was a little concerned because there was a bitterness to them. But I figured, with like the chips and with the cheese and the beef and everything. What?
Happy Batty, she asked, what did I miss?
Oh.
If I reached across to grab the chips, I think that would be rude. But
I said I didn't care.
he didn't care, because it's just us here at home. But it's not just us. The world is watching. Spill. What a surprise.
I'm shocked. Shocked, I say, that you spilled.
Yeah.
Said I don't. If you don't care, I don't care.
I care.
She cares.
This Mexican food's better than some restaurants.
Mm. I 100% concur with that statement.
So glad I didn't tap into that avocado this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I can think of a couple of restaurants that I've been to where I've had enchiladas nowhere near as good as those. Nowhere near. But to be fair, I think it's a couple of things. It's the fact that I made the sauce from scratch, which was good. But it's also the beef. That's a huge part of it. And then just that little bit of cheese in there too.
And it's a good use of leftovers.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the whole point of doing this today, was using these leftovers, so then that way we don't have additional leftovers once the honored guests roll through.
Our honored guests.
So. Yeah.
Is there any questions?
Questions, comments, concerns.
Statements.
Because if not, then I think we're going to go raid DS Mally. Because she's on right now.
Happy belated birthday.
Mm-hmm.
This was a good idea. I'm glad you thought of it.
Thank you. Oh, the honored guest, like I told you at the I mentioned at the beginning of the stream, Lumpy Pickle.
Lumpy Pickle!
And Lumpy Joy are going to be here.
I'm very excited, Lumpy Pickle.
Yeah. So. Oh, dude. Enchiladas, everything came out fantastic, Accidental Chaos. The enchiladas are, like, perfect. Just perfect. That, I think I said it for like 20 minutes. There's like a nice little bit of a crust kind of on the outside, which is just fantastic. Yeah. No, everything just came out really, really nicely. And if it came out like garbage, I would have said so.
Yeah, I would say so too.
Yeah, she would say so. I would say so, because and there have been times where I've made stuff and it's just like, it didn't come out all that great. Lumpy is going to be getting in Thursday. Yeah, Thursday. So that's why Thursday we will not be doing a stream. And also not next Tuesday. But well, yes, this Saturday, but I mentioned that way earlier. So yeah, not Thursday, not Saturday, not Tuesday. However, the following Thursday and Saturday, we'll go ahead and stream. And then I need to kind of re-examine my streaming schedule a little bit. Well, because you're going back to keto and stuff like that, and I tend to prefer it when it's like I know she's coming home, and it's like, okay, I'm getting dinner ready for the both of us, as opposed to, hey, I'm just, here to cook and, so yeah, that's what's up. But thank you so much to everybody for being here today. Thanks to Scott for the resub. Thanks for being here, Accidental Chaos, Happy Batty, Avocado Green KitchenAid. Lumpy Pickle was in here a little earlier. I would imagine he's probably hanging out with Nick Miller at the moment.
Maybe he should be packing.
Maybe, well, he's got a couple of days. Let's see, did I miss anybody else that spoke up in chat? I don't think so. Oh, I'd be stupid. That's right. And Phase 6. So, yeah. Thanks to everybody for being here. Yeah, let's go raid Diazmali. Here's the raid message.
Yay! Happy belated birthday!
And let's set this up.
You guys are awesome.
Yes. Thank you so much, everyone, and I will see you next Thursday. Yeah, that'll be it. So, thanks so much, everybody. Take care. Love you all. And, let's get ready for some bass shreddies.
Hello, boys and ghouls. DK's making a snack today. What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?